Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Elsie.
Hi. So today we have a really fun article about bookstores. Do you like going to the bookstore?
Yes, I do. I like to go to the bookstore. How about you?
Me too. Sometimes I like to get lost in Esleet. And I like to wander around, even though I might not buy anything, but I still like to go in and take a look at what's there.
So normally, how much time would you spend in a bookstore?
It depends. Maybe from an hour to 2 hours. It depends on how much time I have.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Actually, I go to bookstore when I need to buy a book, or I won't go to a bookstore to wander around.
Ah, okay. Well, this is actually an interesting bookstore for, because, mostly the bookstores we have here are, in English and Chinese, but we kind of forget about the other people who live here as well. So, let's take a look at the article to learn more then.
Okay.
Reading. Brilliant Time, Taiwan's Southeast Asian bookstore. Taiwan society has always been a colorful mix of different cultures and ideas. One group that has been steadily growing in the country is Southeast Asians. In recent years, there has been a greater focus on making sure these people feel welcome. One solution was particularly bright: a Southeast Asian bookstore. The shop, called Brilliant Time, was opened in New Taipei City in 2015. Brilliant Time exists thanks to Zhang Zheng. Zhang's goal was to provide a space where people from other Asian nations could read books in their mother tongues. His shop allows immigrants and migrant workers to easily find interesting subjects to read about. Brilliant Time's books aren't sold, but borrowed, without set return dates. What's more, customers are free to make notes in the books as they read. This way, reading is a personal and inviting experience. Zhang hopes this helps Southeast Asians see Taiwan not only as a place to work, but also their home.
Alright, so the article first starts off with Taiwan society has always been a colorful mix of different cultures and ideas. Okay, when we talk about society, it means all of the people who make up a community. So there are people like us. So we know that Taiwan is a mix of different cultures, and it means that the people here are very diverse. They're all from different countries.
There are a great number of foreigners in Taiwan. They bring different cultures and ideas into Taiwan too and make this beautiful place a mix of everything. So Taiwan's society, 台湾的社会一直都是这么的多样化. However, I have a question, Tiffany. Among the foreigners in Taiwan, which group is the biggest one?
I'm not so sure, but I think the article does mention it. And it says one group that has been steadily growing in the country is Southeast Asians. Okay, when something is steadily doing something, steady means to kind of go without any change, and it's going on continually. So that means that the number of Southeast Asians, so people from Thailand, from Indonesia, Philippines, these people have been continually growing in Taiwan.
Yes, steadily 是一个副词，代表稳定地。那它的形容词呢？Steady, S-T-E-A-D-Y, steady, 那就是形容词稳定的。那同学们可以看到它其实去掉 y 再加上 I-L-Y 变成它的副词。所以说呢，在台湾人数稳定成长的外国族群是 Southeast Asians, 东南亚人。
Right. Next in the article, it says, in recent years, there has been a greater focus on making sure these people feel welcome.
Yes, we have been trying very hard to make Southeast Asians feel comfortable in Taiwan. We want them to feel that Taiwan is their second home. What have we achieved so far?
All right. So The article says one solution was particularly bright, a Southeast Asian bookstore. Yep. So when we talk about a solution, it means to solve a problem or a resolution to the problem. So how did Taiwanese people make sure that Southeast Asians felt welcome? Well, they found a solution. Well, they found an answer to the problem, and it was to open a bookstore.
So of all the solutions to the problem about how to make them feel welcome, opening a bookstore seems to be a very good one. So when we face a problem, we have to try to solve it. 动词解决问题，我们说 solve, S-O-L-V-E, 那它的名词呢就是 solution, S-O-L-U-T-I-O-N, solution, a solution to the problem, 问题的解决办法。
Right. So instead of opening a restaurant or, going through food or clothing, instead they found a way to do it through a bookstore. Now we can also use solution in a sentence like this. For example, we can say, the engineers found a solution to the problem to stop the water from leaking.
OK, 同学们记得 a solution to the problem 这边的 to 啊，它是一个介系词，所以后面呢只能加名词或者是动名词哦。
Right. The article also mentioned the word particularly. Okay, it's an adverb and it means especially, specifically, or to make an extra focus or point on.
Particularly 字为 ly 结尾的，它是一个副词，特别尤其是在文章当中呢，用来强调开书店这个方法特别的好。So what's the name of this special bookstore we're talking about?
All right, so the article says the shop called Brilliant Time was opened in New Taipei City in 2015. All right, so we know that the name of this bookstore is Brilliant Time. Why is it called Brilliant Time? Well, brilliant is an adjective and it means it's excellent, it's fantastic, or it's marvelous. So that means I guess this bookstore is really fantastic.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's excellent bookstore. Okay. So Brilliant Times is the bookstore's name. Brilliant 本身就是非常棒的或是非常聪明的意思。它放在这个书店的名称上面感觉刚刚好，很适合，对不对？
All right. And then the article then says Brilliant Time exists thanks to Changcheng. Changcheng.
So now we're talking about who opened up this brilliant bookstore.
So the owner, the article continues to say, Chang's goal was to provide a space where people from other Asian nations could read books in their mother tongues. So yes, like we mentioned, most of the bookstores here are, it's usually Chinese
or English books.
We don't really see anything in other languages like I don't see any books in Tagalog or Vietnamese or in Thai. So I think it's really nice to let people feel at home when you see something in your mother tongue.
Yes. Changcheng wanted to offer Southeast Asians a place to buy books written in their mother tongues. 我们说母语 mother tongues.
Right. So the main idea for this bookstore was to provide a place for people to find books in their own language. Okay. When we talk about the word provide, P-R-O-V-I-D-E, it's a verb and it means to make available for use.
Yes, provide 提供 provide something for somebody 等于的就是呢 provide somebody with something.
Right. So, for example, we could say the hotel provides its guests with fresh towels, water, and free Wi-Fi.
And we can also say the hotel provides fresh towels, water, and free Wi-Fi for its guests.
Right. All right. So, we also saw the word mother tongue. And as Elsie explained before, it simply just means your native tongue, the first language you learned as a kid.
Yeah.
Now, let's take a break and learn more about this in our shortcut for you.
Shortcut for you.
Pat, I've often wondered, what do you and your wife speak at home?
Words, most of the time.
I mean, what language do you speak?
Oh, well, if we're talking about something I can't say in Chinese, we'll use English. But if I can say it, we'll use her mother tongue.
What has her mother got to do with it? Or her tongue?
Your mother tongue is the language you grew up speaking with your parents at home, not one you learned later.
Got it. Mother tongue means 母语.
Yes, so in my wife's case, it's Chinese.
Not Taiwanese?
Well, she speaks that with her mother.
Oh, wait. So she doesn't speak her mother tongue with her mother? I'm really confused.
Yes, it's certainly a tongue twister.
Alright, so continuing with our article, it continues to say, his shop allows immigrants and migrant workers to easily find interesting subjects to read about. So I think it's really hard moving to a new country, don't you think?
Of course, it's hard because everything's different, right? You have to learn, you have to do what their cultures do. And I think it's better for them to have something that they are familiar with to check it out, right?
That's true. And especially if it's a country where you don't understand the language, I think it's even more difficult. So I think luckily for them, they could find a little piece of home at this bookstore. Now, in this sentence, we saw a word here. We saw the word subjects. S-U-B-J-E-C-T. Okay, this subject means a branch of knowledge taught in school. So, for example, in school we learn about math, science, social studies, English, Chinese. We call these subjects.
Yes. What's your favorite subject when you were in high school, Tiffany?
Actually, I think I did quite well in history
and
literature, so I liked it because I did really well in it. But science and math were my least favorite subjects because I didn't do so well in that.
Okay.
What about you?
My favorite one was English, and I was really bad at math, science, social studies. So I think I'm only good at English. So that's why I liked English a lot.
Yeah, same here. Like, I think we like things that we are good at. So
yeah,
but we also saw some interesting words in this sentence as well.
Yeah,
immigrants and migrants. What does that mean?
So immigrants, here we use it as a noun. 这边我们是当名词来用，它是指的是移民者。文章中呢，指的是移民至台湾居住的人。那 migrant 指的是移出的，所以 migrant workers 就是从自己的国家移出到外地工作的人。文章中指的就是到台湾来工作的东南亚族群的人啦。
So there is a difference between immigrants and migrants, and it all just depends on how they move. All right, so let's continue reading the article. It says, Brilliant Times books aren't sold, but borrowed without set return date. So it's not a place where you go, you buy a book, and then you go home and you leave. It's more like a library. So you go there, you borrow the books, and you don't really have a restriction on when you need to return it. So it's very free, I feel.
So it's not a real bookstore. It's more like a library, as you said. People can borrow books from Brilliant Times, return the books whenever they want.
Do you like to go to the library to borrow books, or do you prefer to buy books instead?
I prefer to buy books in the bookstore because I like to own the books I read. How about you?
The same with me, actually. And I have a pretty OCD thing of me, and I like to keep my books really, really neat and clean and pretty. So I like to buy my books as well.
You can't stand people that fold their books?
No. If I see someone bend the books really, really far back, my heart really hurts.
Oh my God.
I feel like, oh no, it's a nice book.
Then you can't lend any books to me.
All right, so next the article then says, what's more, customers are free to make notes in the books as they read.
Wow, that sounds really great. But what about next borrower, like you? Will the person see those notes, or the workers in the store would erase them first? Anyways, let's not worry about that part now.
Yeah, the article then says, this way reading is a personal and inviting experience.
Personal, 我们说个人的、私人的，所以呢，它让这个阅读的状况、这个情绪是非常私人的，让他们感到非常的舒服。再来 inviting 这个形容词呢，其实同学们可以注意到哦，它是从动词 invite 变过来的。invite 是邀请，那 inviting 就是吸引人的，邀请人过来，来这个享受这个经验。
I don't think I'll like it very much, to be honest.
Because you'll see people's notes on it.
Yeah, and I get distracted because I'll think, oh, what does this mean? And then I get out of it, and so I like to buy my books.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, the article finishes off with, Chang hopes this helps Southeast Asians see Taiwan not only as a place to work, but also their home.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the article, but stay with us. We still have our For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, so our For You chat for today is, when you're in a new place, what are some things that make you feel more comfortable?
So for me, food is definitely the one that I'm searching for when I'm in other countries. We say comfort food, right?
That's true.
So my comfort food is maybe 炒面, 炒饭. So I don't think I can get that in maybe Western countries. So I'm in those countries, I always search for those kind of foods. What about you, Tiffany?
Same here. I think there's a saying, I think they say that food brings people together.
Yeah.
And I think that's really true. So if you find food, if it's, this country's food, local food, and you want to try something new, it brings people together. If it's something that you miss about home, like comfort food, it still brings people together. So the same thing, I think food and then like a nice bed to sleep in.
A nice bed.
Yes, a nice bed to sleep in.
So if you have a nice bed to sleep in, you feel more comfortable in that country.
Yep, with my food.
And with your food.
I would think that would be perfect.
Because, sometimes when we are in Western countries, they have all fried foods, fried chickens, fried everything. And sometimes
it's too oily.
I get so not comfortable with it. Yeah,
yes.
So I need my Taiwanese food.
We need our Chinese food.
All right.
All right, so think about this question, and we hope you enjoyed the article. I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Elsie.
See you guys next time.
See you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Brilliant Time, Taiwan's Southeast Asian bookstore. Taiwan society has always been a colorful mix of different cultures and ideas. One group that has been steadily growing in the country is Southeast Asians. In recent years, there has been a greater focus on making sure these people feel welcome. One solution was particularly bright: a Southeast Asian bookstore. The shop, called Brilliant Time, was opened in New Taipei City in 2015. Brilliant Time exists thanks to Zhang. Zhang's goal was to provide a space where people from other Asian nations could read books in their mother tongues. His shop allows immigrants and migrant workers to easily find interesting subjects to read about. Brilliant Time's books aren't sold, but borrowed, without set return dates. What's more, customers are free to make notes in the books as they read. This way, reading is a personal and inviting experience. Zhang hopes this helps Southeast Asians see Taiwan not only as a place to work, but also their home.
Vocabulary Review.
Steadily. At first, this singer was not very popular, but now she is steadily gaining fans. Solution. We need to find a solution to our restaurant's rat problem as soon as possible. Particularly. Vivian loves reading books, particularly adventure novels. Brilliant. This photo really captures the brilliant lights of the city at night. Brilliant. This restaurant is so creative with food. It always creates such brilliant dishes. Provide. To receive more information, please provide us with your name and contact info. Subject. History is one of Marcus's favorite subjects to learn about and discuss.